name is Shai Schmelzer. I'm part of the Oracle Visual Builder Cloud Service team. And in this demonstration, we're going to show you how to do aggregation over data in business objects and how to leverage Groovy scripts and triggers to have this calculation done automatically. We have an application that shows us some totals about employees, including the total salary and the number of employees. To get this, we have two business objects. One of them is the employee with the data. The other one is an independent business object we called stats. We inserted one record in here and we have two fields, the total of salary and the number of employees, the employee count. In order to keep those totals aligned, we need to have some triggers on our employee. The first one would be a trigger for a before insert event. So every time that we insert a new employee, we need to update the stats. So we're going to have an always execute operation, and we click the add action, give it a name, and we're going to add an action that is going to be executed. Now, one thing you might want to try and do is use the update record capability and say that you want to update the stats object every time that the employee is updated. However, there is one challenge here. If you're going to try and set the employee count or the salary to a value that comes from the totals, okay, you won't have access to it. You only have access to information that comes from the employee record that you're currently working on. Here you can actually see the Groovy code that is being generated for such an operation. We're going to copy it and we're going to modify it to address our exact need. So let's remove this step, and instead we're going to add the custom Groovy option. And then we'll give it a name quickly and then paste the code that we got from the declarative step. And then we just need to modify it. If you look at the code actually goes over, fetches the stats object, fetches the record in there, and then goes over and updates values. So we're going to modify this line of code to say the employee count should be employee count plus 1, and the salary total needs to be the current salary total plus the new salary. Okay, so just let's copy this part and duplicate it, and then make the exact changes. We need, for example, in the employee count to say plus 1, not plus salary, like that. And then we need to change, and instead of in the second command, instead of updating the employee count, to update the total salary. Note that what you need to use here are the specific fields, IDs that are coming from your business object. Okay, so in our case it's total salary, and we're updating it to be total salary plus the salary. And then we can click OK. So now we have our insert trigger, and we can test it. You can test it from the data window over here, okay, but we're going to test it from a little web application we created here to add a new record, okay, and give this record a name and a new salary. And so we're adding 4,000 to the total. Let's click save, and you can see indeed that the total now grew to 33,000, and also the employee count is now at 11. By the way, by having those two, you can also calculate the average salary if you need to. So this was an insert command. Now let's see how we are going to handle an update command. So again, what we're going to do is define a new business rule on our employee. This is going to be invoked every time that someone updates a record. You need to provide a name, of course, for your trigger. And just like before, you're going to add a step that would always get executed. Just like before, we can use the same approach of having a Groovy script code over here. And we're going to basically paste the same type of code over. Now there's one change that we need to do now. Now it's not just adding the salary. We actually need to add the difference between the old and the new salary. Okay. So if you look at the function section over on the left, under object, one of the functions you'll find is the get original attribute value. This allows you to access the value before the update. Okay, so you put in the name of the field between quotes. Okay, and your calculation now is take the total salary, add to it the new salary, and reduce the previous salary. Okay, this would give you the new update total. So again, we're starting with 33,000. Let's take Jane for example and update it to have 5,000 as the salary. And as you can see, now it's 34,000. If we switch it again and update it to be, for example, 2,000 and click save, the total salary gets reduced by 3,000, and that's the total we see here.